Hey everybody, today I'm going to do some live coding. I recommend you kind of speed up this video because I'm going to try to really go at my own pace, and you'll see me just sort of like thinking for like 20 seconds at a time, and that can be kind of boring. But I do think overall the video will be interesting to you if you just kind of want to see how a software developer works. And so my task for today is actually pretty simple. So I have a Tamper Monkey script that when I load up the main Zulip community web server, which is called chat.zulip.org, I have a Tamper Monkey script that basically traverses the DOM and applies colors to major sections of the app. And so that's where I am now in terms of development. And I need to apply some styling to this search bar. I'll probably use whatever this color is. When I look at the code, I'll remember what color it is. It's obviously, I think it's dark sea green. Um, and my development methodology is that I'm creating basically like a fake instance of Zulip. And you'll see here that this fake instance of Zulip mimics the structural patterns of the real instance of Zulip. So I have code that builds up a fake instance of Zulip, and then I have code that tampers with my fake instance of Zulip, and then I use that same tampering code that I applied to my application. I apply it to Zulip, and I'll show you how that basically works. I'm using this product called Tamper Monkey. You can see it up here, and it allows you to attach scripts to websites. So I have this script that I named Zulip, and if I go to edit it, all this code here is code that I wrote. I'm kind of curious what it's complaining about. Multiple spaces. That's just like a cosmetic thing. But in my at the top of a Tamper Monkey script, they have this little I forget what you call these things, but like basically little form that you have to fill in. And so I'm saying that I'm going to match on chat.zulip.org. I have this function called tamper, and I set a timeout so that after 5 seconds after the application loads, I run this tamper function. And I will demonstrate that now. I'm going to reload Zulip. And chat.zulip.org has like thousands of users. And because they have thousands of users, it takes a long time to load. There's a big story behind that, but I'm not going to get into it right now. But anyway, as you can see, Zulip's reloading. You can see the little icon there, and it's almost loaded. And at some point, Tamper Monkey's going to take over. Right as I said that it would, it did. So what I need to do now is that I'm kind of reverse engineering the Zulip app. So this little search bar here, I'm going to look at it in the inspector. I'm just going to right click and go down and inspect. And you can see if I hover over here, the thing that I actually clicked on was the description part of the stream. So I'm going to use the left arrow to go to a higher level. I'm going to move that down a little bit. Okay, so I think it says message view header. I think that's the part that I actually want to style. You can see that the geometry is correct there. And it's part of, let me see what top nav bar border does for me. I might want to use, it's actually called top navbar container. Let me go up one more and see if I'm still, yeah, if I go up one more, then I get into column middle inner, and that's too big. So I think I want to do top navbar container. I think this class here is more for styling, and this class here is more for like describing the overall structure of the application. So I got to keep that in my head. Top dash navbar container. And so let me go to the code. So I'm going to split window here. I've got tamper.js on the right hand side, and I've got zulip.js on the left hand side, which you can see here. I'm using the Vim editor. I'm not super opinionated about what editors you use, but I'm just telling you what I use. I love Vim. It's great for me, for my brain. It fits my brain. So where am I? Let me go back and reorient myself. So yeah, again, I'm in the top nav bar, so I'm trying to color this. So when I go to the Zulip app, I know that the nav bar, that top nav bar is basically part of the header. So I'm going to build a function called build. Now I'm going to call it, but by the way, I see that thing's a search bar. And I kind of wish that Zulip was a little more precise in their DOM about what things actually are. But I'm basically copy pasting from what Zulip did. I'm gonna have a function where I pass in the parent, and I know for a fact that whatever element I'm gonna create, I'm gonna append that to the parent. And let me just copy all of this because this is going to be very similar code. I don't totally condone copy paste, but for like 4-line functions, I think it's completely appropriate. So I'm going to create a div, and then I need to give a class name. And as I said earlier, the class name that I want to give to this is top. Let me point at it so you can see what I'm looking at. Top dash navbar dash container. That means I have to change this to top dash navbar. I think I can autocomplete container because I say container in other places. Okay, so I'm gonna save that. Missing one detail here. I need to actually invoke that function, so I'm gonna build a search bar. And in my other droplet terminal, I'm running Python's little web server. Hopefully this is still actually running. And I go here and I hit Control R, and it looks like I got some kind of error. Okay. So this might actually be working. So I need to inspect here and see what the DOM looks like. Okay, so it took me into top nav bar. If I go down here, oops. Looks like I have the logo class, but not that. It's possible this web server is not actually running. Let me do a hard refresh. Let me inspect again. Let me run the web server here. Oh. All right, I'm gonna pause a little bit. I'm running the wrong thing. I have this deployed to production. I need to I need to use the local version, which is here. Okay. So now I see I have some syntax errors. So I'm gonna go back to here. let's see what that error was. Element is null. Actually, let's go to the missing colon after property IDs. That's line 40. Oh, I see what I did. Yeah. Fix that and then run the web server. Refresh over here. Okay, that looks like progress. It looks like now in my fake instance of Zulip, I'm putting a search bar inside of this top navbar container, and I'll show you that in the inspector. So I have top navbar container, and it's inside the top navbar. So now what I need to do is emulate the tampering part of this. And I told you earlier that I'm going to use this same, I think it's dark sea green color from the right sidebar, and apply it to this. And I'm going to do it first in the fake Zulip app. And then eventually, hopefully not too long from now, I will do it in the actual Zulip app. So here I am. I've got this little section. I go back to where I was editing code. I stop my web server. And I go over to tamper. I see I have this get header function. And what I need to do is I need to write a function called search bar. And I'm going to get an element that is from the header. And then I use query selector of, now this is a class, not an ID, so I use the dot syntax. And it's going to be top dash navbar should autocomplete container. And my paradigm here is that all of my little helpers return an object with the element and then any children. But obviously here I have not started to traverse the children. But in get header, I do want to return children, so I return search bar. And then down at the bottom here is where I do all my styling. So I'm going to go up here, whoops, to here. I'm going to get search bar from the header. I'm going to copy and paste this. I want search bar, not logo. And I want its background. So I was guessing right. I did remember correctly that color in the buddy list is dark sea green. Whoops, is dark sea green. And so now if I run the web server, I'm pretty confident that when you come here, when I reload this, this is going to have that same dark sea green color. I was overly confident, obviously. I think I must have had some sort of syntax error. Let me see if I inspect. So that's column, middle, inner. Wait a minute. I want to be up here. Top navbar container. Oops. So I have top navbar container, but clearly the style that I wanted did not get applied. So I'm going to stop the web server and go back into the editor. And let's see. I call the search bar. I have this search bar from getHeader, and I'm trying to style that element with dark sea green. Search bar looks for top navbar container, and it does return it. I'm a little mystified here, but I'm going to add a console statement. So again, I'm going to run the web server just directly out of the editor. Refresh. Hit Control-Shift-K. Why am I not seeing... This error here is just annoying. It's just complaining that I don't have a fave icon. But I'm not seeing any obvious errors. But the thing I'm not seeing is I'm not seeing that I'm actually styling. And I am using my droplet web server. What am I doing wrong here? Search bar should be called, and it should have console info, that thing. And in my tamper function, I'm getting search bar out of the header. So I'm really confused. Good old style print debugging. And I'll fire up the web server after I write the files. And I hit refresh. Control-Shift-K. Let me do a hard reload. Sometimes just things. Yep. Oh my god. So the browser had something in cache. That was really annoying. Okay, so I've accomplished what I set out to accomplish, at least in terms of this fake Zulip thing. So now the search bar has the same color as the buddy list. And the next thing I want to do, well, before I do that, let me save my work. So let's see, I'm going to do... I commit with the message of progress, I push the origin, and then I start the web server. I have that in my buffer. It doesn't actually start the web server, but that's fine. I didn't really want to do that anyway. And in fact, you can see here, the web server is still running. So let me show the last commit. This is basically what I did. This is kind of, let me run Prettier real quick. So Prettier is this really great tool that just formats your JavaScript nicely. So I run that on all my JavaScript files. Do diff. Yeah, it's actually prettying up some other things. That all looks fine. So I can do my progress thing again. And I'm not going to start at the web server. So I pushed that out to GitHub successfully. And I want to go back into the editor. And I do Control W, Control W, or something like that. My brain doesn't know what my fingers are doing because it's all muscle memory. But basically all I did there was just like reload the code so that that prettier code took effect. And now we get to a part that I really want to automate. This is very tedious, what I'm about to do. And it would take about, like, I don't know, like 20 lines of Python. Not even, like, not much Python code at all to just, like, automate this. But I'm going to cat my tamper file. I don't need tamper because that's already in my tamper monkey script. I do need this code here. Yeah, all of it. Basically all of it. So I'm going to get that into my clipboard. And then I'm going to go back to tamper monkey. And I replace my old tamper script the new script that I have in my clipboard. So shift insert, and then I'm gonna save it. I would normally just hit Control S, but just because I'm doing a video, I'll show you how to do it through the menu. So now I've saved my Tamper Monkey script. I'm gonna go back to Zulip, and I'm gonna hit refresh. It's loading. And we're done. Okay, good. I was really nervous there. I don't know why I was so nervous because everything I did was like pretty straightforward. But now my search bar is in dark sea green. And that is the end of this live coding exercise. I hope you learn a thing or two or were just entertained by me fumbling around. All right, thank you. Bye.